What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video with your boy, Irie Futures. Today was a tough day, I'm not gonna lie. In today's video, I'm going to speak on how to handle losses. Now, when it comes to losses, me personally, I differentiate the two. Was it a loss or was it just a red day? Now, a loss is you broke a rule, you've done something you know you weren't supposed to do, and that resulted in you losing money. That's a loss. A red day is you followed your rules, you remained disciplined, you took the exact same setup that you would take all the time, but it just didn't go your way, which resulted in you losing money. But that's just a red day. After knowing these two definitions, I'm going to be speaking on red days. I'm not going to speak on losses or how to handle losses because you shouldn't be going against your rules and being undisciplined. That's just what it is. So, mind you, everyone's not perfect. I still take losses to this day. Very unlikely, but I still take losses to this day. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, first things first, how to handle a red day, normalize red days. In trading, red days are inevitable. When you normalize having red days, and when I say normalize, I mean, don't think every day is gonna be a red day. I just mean, know that you're gonna have some red days, for sure. You have to. That's you just paying your dues to the market and keeping it pushing, right? So just normalize them. Know that you're gonna have red days. When you have these red days, have a certain amount, have a daily loss limit that you wanna take, have a weekly loss, and do not exceed that. And when you do have these winning days, don't cut your profits short or do these things. Like, just manage your profits well, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have red days. Again, you're gonna have red days. So when you have these red days, just be real disciplined with your risk management and you'll be fine. With trading, you could lose more than you win and still be profitable, right? You could have a 30% win rate and still be profitable. All that comes down to is risk management. So again, normalize red days. You're gonna have red days, okay? So when you become used to it, or when you adapt your mind to knowing that red days are gonna happen, of course we don't like them, but when you adapt your mind to know red days are gonna happen, you're not gonna feel like a failure, like, oh, I lost. You have to separate the two because red days are supposed to happen. So when you separate who you are from you losing a trade, it won't hurt as much. Like, yeah, losing money is losing money, but you won't feel like a failure. You won't feel bad about yourself, like, oh, you suck at trading, because all traders lose money, no matter what scale you're on. And if you feel like you suck at, some people, shoot, there's always room to improve. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat anything. There's always room to improve. If you are having these red days frequently, consistently, then yes, you may have to change some things up. But we're speaking on how to handle them, and the first step to handling these red days are realizing that they're going to happen and it's not always your fault. Another way to handle a red day is think about red days and you losing money as a business expense and you just investing. Now, it may sound a little odd at first, but think about it. Losses is you just paying your dues to the market. People go to college for these 4 years. They're taking L's every year, paying, Most people that trade probably run a different route. These are you just paying your dues. You start a business, you invest into the business. This, you're investing into the market, right? Sometimes. That's how you can rewire your brain to think, okay, red days are normal, or not normal, but red days are gonna happen. Here, take it, keep it pushing, and go make some more money. Also, you have to think, so you know how the charts move, right? How they go up and down, create higher highs, lower lows. They move. This is exactly how your wins and losses are going to move. You're gonna have your wins, you're gonna have your losses, you're gonna have your wins, loss, loss, wins, wins, wins. That's exactly how the market moves, and that's exactly how the wins and red days are going to move because they have to. No chart is just going like this, just straight up. Maybe on a higher time frame, you see more of this, but if you look lower, you see this. Your trajectory overall is you making money. But then you have your days. You have these little red days where you lose money, and that's just a little retracement. That's all it is a little retracement. These red days are just little retracements to the bigger picture, and you're bullish. I promise you, you're bullish, right? So that's one way to think about these red days as well, and how to handle these emotions when you have a red day. The reason I make these videos is because I'm also giving myself advice, and I'm also letting you guys know things that I do personally. I am currently on a 2-day losing streak. How to handle losing streaks is to still be disciplined and remember that the strategy works. Trust the setup, trust the strategy. It's not always your fault. Like today, the market literally dumped off, no retracement. I use supply and demand. So for me to enter a trade, I need that retracement. So the market dumped off. By the time it gave me a retracement, it had already dumped for hours, you know? So by the time it gave me a retracement and it gave me my setup, this is my setup, right? By the time it gave me my setup, I entered, shot right through it, right? That was today. The other day I took an L. Again, same thing. Well, not same thing. Like it didn't dump off, but it was my setup. You know, I take my setups and that's just what it is. If it is a red day, then it is what it is. But I know losing streaks are more tough because then you get to thinking like, is it me? Like, is it my strategy? I know you're going to feel like you want to change something about it, but do not change anything. Do not be a strategy hopper or you're going to continue to get clapped. How I'm taking it is, again, I feel it. Like I lost, I'm losing, I'm on a losing streak 2 days in a row. But also, this is where journaling comes into play. And you want to journal and have this data and have this data to show you. Me personally, looking at my P&L, I don't lose no more than 3 trades in a row. That's just looking at the data. So me on this 2-day losing streak, it's like it is what it is, man. But yes, when you're on this losing streak, it does not mean the strategy is broken. So please remain disciplined. Don't change anything. Because once you get to changing something, you feel like that's the problem, you're just going to get clapped even more. And then it's really going to hurt because now you're doing something you don't even usually do. You know what I'm saying? And also, another thing to remember on these red days is remember the green days. Remember the winning days. You know what I'm saying? If you winning more than you lose, or if you losing more, but you still hitting these RRs, remember that the strategy works. The strategy works and it's shown you that it works. That's why that's your strategy. Okay, so remember that. Don't let these red days mess your head up and alter what you got going on, because it's temporary. Trust me, it's temporary. All right. Last but not least, remember that you have a life outside of trading. I know, especially for me being on the West Coast, one of the first things I do is trade. So for me to wake up and one of the first things I do is trade, and it's a L day, you know, I could really mess with my mood for the rest of the day. But you still have a whole life, bro, outside of trading. But yeah, y'all, I'll catch you on the next one and keep everything irie.